You need to create like a student, edit like a professor. YouTube isn't against you. So let's begin. Lately I've seen my videos do greater than the ones I used to create, and I think it's simply due to the way I create them. And I think you can learn something from it. Even if you don't make videos, there's something about just doing the ideas that pops into your head immediately. This will be my first take. And honestly, the way I approach videos have changed for the better, I will say. When I let my ideas flow through me, when I speak on them without thinking about whether or not I sound the way I want to, whether the sentences flows, the more I can focus on bringing the idea to life. And when you're recording or creating, don't think about the mistakes you can actually actively see. Think about them later. That way, whenever I record a video, I know, okay, the last time I recorded one, it kind of fell short in this way, and this way. And you have the chance to make it right, so to speak. But during this reiterative process, there'll be so many mistakes, you don't know what to do with them. But creating things in this way makes them more authentic. So it's a trade-off. Do you want to wait until you know exactly how to create the videos? Or are you gonna do them anyways and let them be a sign of the progress you're currently making, which is something I believe that you should do. Now, this isn't going to be an end-all answer, and I think you should focus more on creating in a way that suits you than necessarily listening to what people say online. I used to get caught up in statistics in YouTube Studio. I used to be so concerned with the reception. Yet now I just create, I put it out. I see what the reception is like, whether or not it's good or bad. It was an idea, and at the end of the day, that's something that is unique to me. It's not something I looked up on bestnicheideas.com or whatever, you know. It's simply me, being me, creating as me, without putting a filter on. And that way you can slowly tune the videos in a direction that is also beneficial to the viewer. So currently I don't focus too much on viewership. I focus on creating good content based on good ideas. Not every idea I have is necessarily going to be palatable to the biggest audience. Now, whether or not I take that idea and run with it is a different story. I know certain things will pop up more in search. I know some things will pop up more in suggested videos, and I know some things will pop up more in my subscriber base's homepage. The only way to get there is by creating and putting it out. There's no need for you to drown yourself in worries about whether or not an idea is well received. I think there's something incredibly unique about each person, and you need to find that in yourself. For me, I have lots to draw on. I have psychiatry, which is a unique experience that most people don't get to have. I got to have time in psychiatry to fully delve into very deep things that were not necessarily something that the usual or normal person would have. They wouldn't necessarily have the problems I had, yet I have certain wisdom. And so do you. You have wisdom based on the life you live, and if you can create content for people going through the same things, or something that people can relate to, that's great. Try and focus on that, because that's what I'm doing. So I know my viewership will depend heavily on the topic I choose, but at the end of the day, I want to keep this fun. I want to make videos based on what I like. I don't want to be too focused on how things will seem to other people, and that's a different topic. Whether or not friends of yours will say you're cringe when you're creating what you're creating is an obstacle, and yet you got the choice. You have the choice to bow down to expectations of society in general, or you have the opposite, rising above them. Now, I'm not necessarily someone who conforms too easily to society's standards. Being someone with a personality disorder is inherently something where my brain is maladaptive to function in the society we have, yet I've used it to my advantage. I've used my traits that on the surface are negative in a way which allows me to live a life I want to live. And I think that goes for content too. So for those of you who are in a rut when it comes to creativity, try and just turn on the microphone and see what happens. Think about what I just told you. Did I expect to say that when I started recording? No, I did not. Yet it is here now. It is in existence. And now I can choose whether or not when I edit this video to keep it in or leave it out. That's the beauty. I don't think there's too much more to it than that. But I will say, I'm still finding my place on this platform. I'm still finding my ways of doing it, and all I can say is that I'm trying to do it as much in a me way as possible. I could look up the easiest tricks to trick the algorithm to push your videos more, or I could just create and let the universe do the rest. I'm not trying to force my videos into a position they shouldn't be in. I'm not trying to push ideas that I know will get views or be beneficial monetarily. That's not my goal, at least. I want to share the wisdom I have from the life I've lived, so that hopefully it can inspire or help someone who's going through the same thing. Now, the psychiatry era I had was nothing easy, and so for those of you who've had bouts of depression, anxiety, whatever, or can just relate to me on a more personal level due to experiencing that too, I'm glad. That's kind of the goal. And that's been it, honestly. I'm gonna hop on Black Ops 7 and play the beta a bit. Hopefully we can get a bunch of people together. Definitely Judy on, that's for sure. Maybe Ellie will be on too. So you might see gameplay from that session. Anyways, it's been Seema. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.